In this video, I'm going to work on the neck and the tail. So I think I'm going to start by combining these together. And then mesh mirror to the other side. Reduce the merge threshold. It doesn't keep doing that. Now I can just grab the base of that and extrude that down. And looking at this, I think I'm going to want to add another edge loop into the head. So I'm going to turn on symmetry. Add an edge loop. Now I can adjust this from both sides, add a bit of roundness back into it. Control middle mouse, drag that out just a tiny bit. I think I'll use the slide tool to even this out a little bit right there. That's better. There we go. And because I got this set to mirror, I only have to move one of these sides. The only reason why I mirrored this at the start was so that it'd be easier to extrude the neck down without having to worry about one half of it being moved or scaled in some weird way. Often when I'm working with something that is centered on my object, it's just easier to mirror it first. Sometimes I'll mirror it and then I'll delete it afterwards if I decide I don't need the mirrored version right away. Nothing's stopping me from remirroring it again later if I decide I need to. Spread those out a little, I think. I think I'm going to pull these up and back because it's getting a little tight right around here. Well, the reason I'm not snapping them and leaving them snapped is because I don't want to make it hard for me to reselect them in a minute if I change my mind. I just did right there. I'm going to turn it off for a moment. And I can just sort of scale that in a bit. I'm going to grab these and extrude those down. I'll retopologize this later, get better results. Just forgot I'm not using symmetry right now. I turn that back on. And I will retopologize this because I want to have a different arrangement for my edge flow around here. I don't really like this, even though technically this works. I think I'd prefer something that goes around the shell there rather than just through it. All right, now the tail. I'll start that off with a brand new cube. Kind of like that to start with. Edge loop down the middle. Slide tool to round that out a little bit. Another edge loop through there. Sliding that in. Round this out a little bit. But and I don't need the inside faces. Extrude those. Put it off temporarily. You just scale that evenly in all directions. And I'll just turn it back on again. Start shaping this around the empty space. Rough placement. I'm going to smooth that to get more geometry to work with. Think what I may do is do some reshaping on the legs too. Use soft select just to pull that out. Help fill the gap in a little bit better. Just going inside real quick. Something more like that, I'd say. If I hold down D, I can orient this so it points along the edge. I can just slide the individual vertices around like that if I need to. Date history. I'm going to combine all these together. And I'll save scene as, so if I decide I don't like where I'm going, I can always go back to this. I'll turn this into a live surface. I'm also going to turn on my wireframe on shaded. And let's see here. Quad draw. I know what I want. I want something that's going to go around this a bit better. But I also want something that matches up with this geometry I've already got. This might go easier, I think. Turn that off. If I've got a bit more geometry inside of here to work with, isolate that real quick. here. Notice I've got something on the inside for it to match up with. Drawing this. Now that's going to stick around. Back to a live surface. There we go. Now I've got shapes that loop around the shell, so just where the leg happened to wind up. It's not what I wanted. Just a loop around like that. There we go. Yeah, I don't want to do that either. Works, I think. Loop going around, all the way around like that. Make sure that this geometry doesn't have any weird surprises for me later. I'm just going to continue this. Yep, that looks about right. Now, the back leg of the tail. Same issue. I want to make sure that these have enough shape on the inside for me to paint my quad draw into the interior. Back into the live surface. Grab that shape there and start quad drawing again. I have some that goes this way, and then some that goes around like this. That. No, I don't want that either. Nope. That might work. I'll take that for now. I'm still not sure if I really like it. I'm gonna do it when I get to here. I feel like this is more important. I'll go with that for now. Alright, stop that. Delete history on this, turn that off. And now I should be able to delete everything on the inside of this. Leaving little gaps between them because now I can delete history, combine them, double click, shift double click, and just use my mesh bridge. I'm gonna do a quick save scene because sometimes I've seen it crash on me when I'm about to try do what I'm about to try to do because I can't remember off the top of my head if the mirror works for bridging. I may have to turn that off and do it one at a time. Let's just see. Some tools do not work and play well with the bridge tool. Some do. I don't always remember until it's too late. And either I get an error message or it crashes Maya. Those are usually your two options when things go wrong. All right. I think I'll add a few more edge loops in here and round this off a little bit. But 3, how does this look where it mates the shell? Let's make little adjustments. And I can also make similar adjustments on the shell itself. Oop, that's in need of some fixing right here. There we go. Do intend to do some sculpting on this later on, and that's going to involve smoothing this down quite a bunch. So I'll make sure that in its smooth form, it's not going to start leaving gaps around the shell. All right. Pretty happy with that. I do want to move my eyeball to the other side, so I got 2 of these. Let me see, here's this paired together. Yes. All right. So I'm going to duplicate that. Control D. Translate X. I'll throw a negative there, so it's on the other side. And I should be able to throw a negative my rotate. There we go. And I know for a fact that this is going to be too low poly for the future, so I'm going to go to Mesh, smooth the whole thing. There we go.